feisty, tough, gritty.
Very gutty, very gritty.
A true leader out on the field.
Extremely competitive.
One of the fiercest competitors that I know.
One of the guttiest, if not the toughest quarterback ever to play.
He's the toughest guy I've ever met. He's the ultimate warrior.
Jim Kelly's peers know the pressures and perils of the quarterback. And they also recognize that Buffalo's number 12 is not your typical pocket passer. His accomplishments and failures have reached record-breaking extremes. So, too, has his toughness.
I've always considered myself one of the toughest guys. I'm not just speaking of National Football League, I'm speaking of everyday things, you know. I guess when you grow up in a family of 6 boys, you gotta be tough. I can remember many days of my 3 older brothers beating on me and me beating on my little brothers. And if you weren't tough, you weren't part of the group. You weren't a Kelly.
There's something inbred in him that he has developed over the years, a mental toughness as well as a physical toughness, that he's going to give you everything he has. And the one thing that beyond a shadow of a doubt he did better than any quarterback I've ever seen, his willingness to stand in the pocket under a tough rush, guys bearing down on him. He knows the receiver's going to come up and willing to take the hit just to get the completion and really sacrifice his body, and he would do it week in and week out.
I think he likes it better when he takes a lot of hits. If he's not beat up after the game, he probably doesn't feel like he played very well.
Sometimes I enjoy getting hit. It wakes me up. Sometimes when I'm having sort of a bad game, and all of a sudden I'll get blindsided. It wakes me up.
Kelly has had his share of wake-up calls.
I've never seen a guy get hit so many times, take so many hits to his whole entire body and get right up and still go out and perform and still give us an opportunity to win football games. I mean, he can go out there and he can have a broken leg or arm or whatever. You know, he's going to try to attempt to get out there in that football field.
I can remember one time throwing one like this that, you know, that, hey, his bell's wrong, he doesn't know what he's doing.
He got hit pretty good, and, you know, I was sitting to the sideline, you know, telling the coaches, hey, we need to get Frank in here, we need to get Frank in. The gym is out of it, you know, and he saw me do that, and I think it just snapped on him. Hey, leave me alone. I know I messed up, but I want to play this game. And I was like, all right, well, you go ahead.
You can tell something's wrong with him. And first of all, he goes 56, which is just an off-tackle running play. So we run it. He calls it again, we run it. After about the 5th time in a row, you know, we're going, wait a minute, something's wrong here. So I turn around and say, man, what's up, you know? And we run the same play. He said, well, give me another one. That's the only one I can think of.
We played in New Orleans, and I remember getting the heck beat. You know, I got sandwiched one time, and I went hit the turf in my head, and I looked up, and I just saw stars, and the dome was spinning. And all I heard was the fans just cheering because they thought they knocked me out of the game. And I said, oh, I'm not leaving this game. I popped right back up and wound up beating him.
He has the belief that as long as he's in there, he's going to win. And that's another part of where his toughness comes from, because he's like, I'm staying in here because we're going to win if I'm in here. And if I let it go, then we might not win.
I've been in a game where he threw 3 interceptions in the first quarter of a game. Most guys would wilt and go into a shell. Before the game was already thrown 5 touchdowns. We won the game.
One of the great qualities that a quarterback needs is to have the ability in the late in the game to just suck it up and go get it done. Kind of gritting your teeth and going and winning games. Most human beings would, about that time, say, I'll fake it, you know, and I just won't do it. And Jim has continually answered the bell in some physical games.
More impressive than all the physical abuse Jim Kelly has overcome to win games is the mental toughness he has displayed through 4 memorable losses.
Losses mean nothing to him. Interceptions mean nothing to him.
Intercepted at the 25, to the 20, the 15. It's Gabetta.
Hits mean nothing to him.
Kelly's going to throw. Here's Haley. Hit him and picked off in the air. Jimmy Jones intercepts and rolls in for a touchdown.
Jim Kelly is injured.
Injury means nothing to him.
The Fates turn their back on Jim Kelly and the Bills.
Bad plays mean nothing to him. He just keeps competing and competing. Bobby Lane was described as never having lost a football game. He just ran out of time on a few occasions. That's the apt description for Jim Kelly. He's never lost a football game in his life.
Give me some time, damn it, give me a little time.
He took that ultimate warrior's mentality,
Kelly falls down, gets up,
and the result is a Hall of Famer.
now throws.
His has been a career of tragedy and triumph, resiliency and resolve. And as the 1995 season begins, the NFL's ultimate warrior is still ready to do battle.
That's what it's all about. If you enjoy your job, you're going to keep working to improve yourself, to get better. I'm 35 years old now. I've been in the NFL for 10 years, and I feel I still have more to learn, and I'm not ready to give up yet. I've loved the game ever since I was 8 years old, and I continue to love it. And the day that I decide that maybe it's not as fun as I want it to be is the day I'll hang on with cleats.